Welcome back. Today I want to show you guys how to tie braid to floral or monofilament. Basically we got mainline braid and we're going to tie ourselves a leader, but how do you get the two together? That's what we're going to talk about. A lot of people use like a swivel right here, and a swivel is good sometimes if you're going to use a bait that is like spinning. So if you're using like a jig and wrap and that bait's spinning, you want a swivel, right? But if you're just using jigs and plastics, you're going after walleye or whatever, we're going to show you how to tie braid to mono. Let's get started. So we're going to pretend that this blue line is our monofilament or fluorocarbon and the black is our braid. So super simple knot, guys. Just follow along. Basically what we're going to do is you're going to overlap the two lines together. Once you have them overlapped, you're going to take, say your monofilament, your floral, take that, and what you're going to do is just loop it, okay? So once you have a loop, you're going to tie an overhand knot, right? You just go like this, you tie an overhand knot. You're going to do that like 4 times. Sometimes I go 5 times. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. For video purposes, we're going 4. Pull her tight. Now you're going to scoot over to your braid, and you're going to do the same thing. Super easy. Just remember, you wrap this around your mono. So we got 1, 2, 3 for video purposes. Tie it tight. And then these two lines are going to come together like that. And you just tied braid to mono. Cut off this end, cut off that end. You can reel this up into your guides. You know, you can make like a 6-8 foot leader of this and still cast it out. And it's not going to get stuck in your eyelets or whatnot. But super simple. Let's go over it again in a little bit more slow motion for you. So here's our braided line coming off our pole. Here's our monofilament. Basically pull yourself, maybe for if this is your first time doing it, pull a couple feet out. Just give yourself that extra line. The super simplest way of explaining this is to take your braid or your mono. Either way, it's going to be either side. You're doing this to both sides. Make a loop and tie it behind. Basically, you're tying a knot, but in that knot, you're including your braid. So then you have another knot. And another knot, and for video purposes we're just going to do 4. Now usually my tag end would be a lot longer than this, and I would pull it tight. So there's our tag end right here, so we'd snip that off once we get all done. We go back to our braid. We're going to make that circle. So there's our circle. We're tying a knot. There's 1 knot, there's 2, there's 3, and there's 4. And then you're going to pull that tight. And then the lines will automatically, usually I kind of put this in my mouth and I get this little wet kind of lick it, and it'll slide together really nice and neat. And now that there, you're going to want to cut off your tag end, and then you can cast this through the pole. You know, you don't got to worry about a swivel getting stuck. But that's it. Braid to mono, braid to fluorocarbon. Super simple, super easy. And usually when I do my mono or fluorocarbon, I run like a 10-pound line off of my braid, and I usually keep my braid at like a 10 or 15 pound as well. And at the end of the braid, I'm usually just tying one of these little snaps on. These are the little VMC crankbait snaps. And realistically, you can snap anything onto these, snap jigs onto them, whatever. And they don't, you know, they don't have a swivel, but if you get a normal snap swivel with a swivel, go for it. But hope you guys learned how to tie a double uni knot. Like I said, it's pretty simple, pretty easy. A little bit more finesse presentation instead of tying your braid right down to your jig. You know, fish can see that and they're like, ah, what is that ropey stuff? But tie that leader, tie that uni knot, double uni knot, and then right down to it, you're good to go. So, like always, guys, thanks for watching. See you next time.